Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends. Welcome to pre-market here at SpartanTrading.com. Wednesday morning, interesting week so far. Yay. Having fun? Everybody's having fun. Welcome to those of you joining us on our live YouTube stream as well. So, I mean, this is what we get, right? Before holiday weekend, especially in the summertime with thinning out and interesting moves and breakouts. Let's see if the breakouts hold. We do have a negative day set up in terms of seasonality, but I don't know. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so we got the softer JOLTS numbers, right? We had that monster change in the stockpiles from the API. I mean that's a big number, guys. We've actually been having really large surprise numbers on the drawdown side. So obviously people are driving and stuff, right? Holiday time, but even so, these are big numbers. We know that Saudi Arabia more than likely is not going to adjust their output well into October. I mean, that should make sense to everybody. Push those little prices up. Australia building permits month over month. Wow, okay. Construction, soft. CPI, softer than expected, right? Private house, but normally I would use Australia, right, as a bellwether in terms of the Asia Pacific rim, in terms of how it's going to play out, because Australia is commodity laden, right, and on the export side. But because of the softness in China, right, I think, something we have to watch for, but I don't know. I'm not going to give it as much weighting as I normally would, okay? Building permits, Bank of Japan tomorrow speech. Okay, so basically they said that, you know what he said. It was consumer confidence, softer. All right, so we have the CPI a little bit higher. So this is actually something I have to start flipping over to see what's going on in Europe, as opposed to Australia. Now, last month's Australian numbers were higher, so we'll see how that plays out. Imports down, import prices down, I'm sorry. So you can see here quite a bit. So this is another bullish narrative, per se, in terms of the Goldilocks theory. Not too hot, not too cold, right? Look, we say this all the time. If anyone is going to be so bodacious, and basically say they know what the hell's going to happen a month, 2 months down the road, okay, you're full of yourself. And this is why I say to everybody, I don't know. I know certain things, but I don't know. I know how to react to economic data. I don't know how certain things are going to play out. But the reality is, everybody, or a large percentage, are still expecting a recession within the next 12 months. And the only reason why that's happening is because these talking heads who basically get these sound bites, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on any of these news, quote unquote, business channels, whatever, this is what they've been saying. People believe them. Period, exclamation point. Okay? Nobody knows, because we've never been forced with this set of paradigm before from a macroeconomic global position. If you look, once again, you pick a freaking top in a bull market, you're going to get your hand smacked. Okay, there will eventually be a day of reckoning. But don't forget, we've been quantitative easing since 2008. Yeah, we're pulling it back. But until we get to seriously lower levels on the balance sheet, until we get to serious lower levels on the debt situation, not just domestically, but globally, but the U.S. has the highest debt compared to GDP, okay, in, obviously not third world, but you know the gist. Higher than China, higher than India, higher than Mexico, higher than Europe, okay? That's a problem. Now, how it plays out, I don't know. in theory, their job is to do no harm. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. Economic sentiment, a little bit softer. Industrial sentiment, softer. Consumer confidence as expected. Inflation's way higher, expectations. So this gets to that whole construct also, but what are people saying? And consumers, people follow, believe all that's going on. Okay? That's really important to understand. Okay? Services sentiment, you have this. Selling price expectations, 3.6. And here we have the different CPIs year over year. Higher, higher, salt lower, hot lower, stuff like that. Okay? Consumer credit, a little bit softer. All right, so these are all the different regions. All right. UK, mortgage approvals. This is a problem. Okay, I mean, look, when these countries that have resets, that don't have like a 30-year mortgage, okay, that you can tap into, all right? When the resets happen on the front end of the curve, there's going to be a real problem. I told you what Go said with one of his associates, friends, right? That the reset on his mortgage is higher than he makes. Well, he can't afford the house anymore, something to that extent. Okay, or his fixed income is so high, he's going to have to, this is going to be the problem that hits. More CPI out of Germany. Okay. Here we go. Mortgage rates as they were. Purchase index, a little bit higher. Refinance, higher. Applications, higher. Brazil PPI. That's interesting, okay? So the month-over-month was worse than expected. Okay, so they were expecting my 2.6, but it only came out 0.8. And here you see some more inflation rates, 0.3 as expected, a little bit higher here on the housing side. At ADP, employment change, well, we know they got kind of stinking out the joint lately. Retail inventories, I really like to look at inventories, guys. So that's going to be a sign of a issue. And then we have our GDP prices coming out. Core PCE, you know the deal, right? So we'll see how this plays out. I don't know. I guess if it comes in softer than expected. Hold on a second. I don't know. But today tends to be a red day in the cycle, seasonality wise. So we'll see. GDP, market's kind of flattish, waiting for these numbers. Look, thin market, who knows? Right? And then we have the gas numbers coming out, EIA. Okay. Good. So we got this, so we got non-farm payrolls. Earnings. Beautiful. Very excited about this. Very, very excited about this. Okay, Okta, Salesforce, CrowdStrike, Chewy, like Five Below, Dollar General. This is gonna be, this is fun stuff. Broadcom is on Thursday, right? Lululemon, MongoDB. I did trim back some of my China yesterday. I trimmed back some of my other stuff. And that's just because of the seasonality cycle. Until we actually get follow through on the breakouts, it's kind of like, let's stop into the range. Anyways, we shall see. There you go. Mastercraft. Wait a minute. Is this, no, this, yeah, PDCO. Yeah, it is right. Con. Better. What a bounce on some of those retail names yesterday. Wow. I bought some OETL. I bought it in the morning. Well, was it the day before or something like that? It was up like 5%. I like these leveraged. I always do leveraged. You know that. That's how I roll, sort of thing. But anyways, I digress. Okay, let's take a peek. This is what I want to show you. So trading partners, obviously Canada, Mexico, NAFTA, right? Canada, Mexico, right? And then you can see here in terms of that. Right? It's, no matter how you slice and dice it, here, let me. Okay. So Germany's after that, right? So when it's all said and done, and here's China, right? 154 billion, right? 537 billion. Okay. All right. The point I'm making is, aside from Canada and Mexico, China's it in terms of vast majority of imports. And, okay, exports. Well, I guess if you add up the totality with the EU and stuff like that. Okay. Anyways, the Reader's Digest version of this story, okay, is as follows. If you overdo it, okay, whether we like them or not, however we feel about them, a large trading block for us, okay? This would be the same as us doing it to Mexico and Canada, basically, totally annihilating them, isolating them. No good comes from it. That's why you saw kind of warming of the waters, because if you continue to put them on a path that they've already started down, and a lot of it is their own fault, no question about it, okay? Asset sales, that's all I have to say. Asset sales. And that's exactly what Janet Yellen was telling everybody. Asset sales coming our way, right? Just saying. All right. Let's see what's going on here. PLA earnings, con earnings, PDH, right? Earnings. No, dude. X. All right. PLT was the good stuff. J&J, that's interesting. 3M, more legal headaches. Anyways, they were talking about Saudi Arabia. Let's see if I can find MNST, rising caffeine levels. Okay. Step toward Israel deal, Saudi Arabia offers to resume Palestinian Authority funding. Good for them. God bless their little hearts. It's about figured ass time. Crypto stop enemy Gensler put on defensive by Grayscale. Okay. I don't care what political sway you are, okay? When you weaponize things that shouldn't be weaponized due to political bias, okay? This is what happens, okay? The courts get involved and say, what the hell are you talking about? Well, Liza, stockpiles, right? Drawdown, hurricane jitters. This is very dangerous for those of you in the storms, right? God bless. I hope everything will be okay. I hope you're out of there, because this is a no joke kind of storm, right? Major losses on its bond purchase. Let's talk about this. Central banks, a large percentage of central banks right now, because of the rise in interest rates, have massive losses on their books. Okay. Fact. The only way it has to be funded, right? Is either through funding it through the government, right, which they don't like to do. Asset sales. A lot of these central banks have massive amounts of U.S. equity and assets, bonds, stocks, etc. Okay. This is where you get that whole sovereign nation stuff going on. You're going to sell. How do you explain that you've got these losses, okay, and yet here you are, have hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars overseas in the United States in bonds and stuff, and then he goes, oh, well, because of U.S. dollar, yada yada. That doesn't fly on the political side. I'm telling you right now. This is where we keep getting these sovereign sales. Japan, the lowest holdings in Japan and China in decades. Okay, that's a big deal. Okay, this is going to continue. The Swiss central bank, they're the biggest holder in terms of central banks of our stuff. So I don't know. Strike regions, destroy. It's about time. That's all I have to say. Recession expectations, 43. I mean, the only way we are here, okay, is you know why. So God bless her little heart, boots on the ground Eunice. Had a little one-on-one chat with her. She discussed things. I think it's worth a read for those of you who are interested. There's an appetite certainly for U.S. business to continue to do business in China. It's it's an unlevel playing field for U.S. business. It's unpredictable, whatever. You know what, sweetheart? Okay, let's talk. Life isn't fair. Okay, and I don't want to be, I shouldn't say that, sweetheart. I apologize. That is between. Okay, secretary, commerce secretary. Life isn't fair. Okay, any business who goes into China knows what they're dealing with, and good management will basically effectively neutralize a lot of this stuff. Okay, it's a risk reward setup. They know what they're doing. Okay, or they know what they're not doing. Okay, it's their choice whether they want to go into China. Okay, I'm just saying it's a sovereign nation, right? I'm just, whatever. The Chinese EV market is dominated by BYD and Tesla. This is when political bias impacts business. If a company doesn't want to go into China, they won't go into China. There's other alternatives, as in India, okay? I get frustrated sometimes. Yeah, ADP has been really quite something. All right, so the ADP number, watch yields, wait on PCE here, correct. They haven't gotten it right, twins. When was the last time ADP got it right? I'm just saying, when was the last time they got it right? It's been a long time. All right, so Consumer Conference Board confidence expectations coming down. University of Michigan mean probability of increase in stock market. Now, my question would be as follows. Okay, what are they using? Okay, have they revamped it based on the changes that we've seen in our economy on the macro side? Just asking. Okay, yields are doing fine. The bond market's steady. All right, so remember on Friday, our friend who did the Qs? Remember? Anybody remember? I think there was a roll on that yesterday as well. They were up a cool $11 million on that trade. Just, God bless. So when we see these unusual trades that go on that make no sense, like on a Friday, something like that, like, okay, right? Saudi Arabia expected to prolong oil cuts. Nice to know. Here we go. Annual pay at 5.9. This is the thing that concerns me, twins, especially with non-farm payroll, is that working hourly pay, the rate number. It's going to go up, obviously, because of all of these deals, right, with the unions and stuff. Just saying. All eyes, nowhere to go but up. Is this ridiculous? I'm showing this to you because what? Okay, all right, so back in the 1890s, 1900s, I mean, this was legacy. Okay, you could afford it. Carnegie and all their family would go to Harvard. Right? Then you start to see things start to change, okay, and still we got these legacies, right? And then you say this, but is it not possible that Harvard has basically tweaked their admissions and say, well, only the brightest of the bright can go in there? I don't know. What's interesting? Tom Lee is worried about this. We have GDP, right? Then we have core PCE. Okay, yes. But we do have the GDP number, right? Coming out today, right? And we do have PCE prices, okay, component. And then we actually have the one that they look at tomorrow. Correct. Leo. But we do get some data today. Okay. All right, so we see this decoupling, but I mean, seriously, friends, okay, this started here, but this is actually fascinating. Now, I have to tell you, and I've said this quite a bit, India, that's all I have to say. India, that's all I care about right now, India. Not for today, not for tomorrow, not for 5 years, but come back to me in 10, 15, God willing, if I'm still alive, right? IWM-QQQ ratio. I don't know what to say. I talk about this pre-market. I don't know what to say. All I can say is this: when this rebounds, the elasticity theory, it's going to be a rip your face off rally, but I don't know how it happens. And Twins and I, we talk about this not often, but I mean, I don't know how it happens. Okay, but as you can see here, this is fascinating, and that's because where we are in this buying cycle in this bull market, Mag 7, large cap, right? Mega tech growth names, these tech names. And as you can see, now, is the IWM dead and gone forever? No, but like I said, I don't know. And this is why it's okay to say you don't know, right? Investors position in Treasury futures, okay? And here you see this record leveraged amount. I'll be honest with you, until that changes, okay, that's really going to be the catalyst that allow bonds to rally, is these huge leveraged positions on the short side. We've talked about this has been going on for weeks and weeks and weeks. Okay, this is what it shows now, but if you go back in months, this is what's been going on. Right? Financial will closely monitor how it does its thing. Yahoo, let's do it. Stock move theme with Russia. Friends, it was a crazy ass rally yesterday. Seriously, it's flat. This is why I'm saying these headlines that they come up with, these sound bites, okay? This is why I encourage everyone not to read them, listen to a service and just basically say, okay, news, okay, business news, okay, a company does something, all right? This stuff will drive you crazy. Launch first mobile phone. Oh, okay, interesting. The words loom will use a hard data confirmed. We're already getting it. NVIDIA avoiding funds punish as shares. You think that's right. You got that right. Hello, Kathy. I don't know why she got out of it. She was all in it, and now she has very little exposure to it. I don't understand that. So it's rumored, it's not official, but it's pretty much going to happen. Okay. Putin will help Trump, 3M's legal troubles, Amazon CEO, brutal message to remote workers. It's probably not going to work out for you. I don't, no comment. Okay. Look, you're an employee. Okay. If your company tells you come back to work and you refuse, okay, that's grounds for dismissal. I don't understand. Some things I just don't understand. You know what I mean? All right, what do we got? HP insurance, printing revenue falls. ADP jobs, we know. Planet Fitness expands pricing pilot to more states. People love this Planet Fitness. J&J updates, right? Emergency launch over-the-counter opioid overdose therapy. Wow, that's pretty cool, actually, right? Jolts are still mega dependent on the Fed. Look, the good companies are lowering expectation, right? Analysts are worthless, except the only one who, for me, are good. Anybody who's 70+% is a stud or studette, as far as I'm concerned, as an analyst. Everybody else, okay, whatever. I mean, we have a better chance here of being right than a lot of these, well, 90% of it. Okay. Dies, Hunchback tumbles, yada, yada, yada. We know. Okay, what do we got? Adalia, this is serious stuff. This is a big deal. Okay, the storm surge is just absolutely unprecedented. Over 14 feet on some places, right? And that cut the curve of the handle, right? Panhandle. Well, I don't want to talk about that. At 3.8, it might not be enough for flooding. Okay. In daughter pitch 100 million project to boost centrist policies. Whoa. Okay. I like this guy. If he was like 5, 10 years younger, I'd say go for it, Joe. The two-party system's broken. You do realize that. I mean, here in the United States, it's broken. Broken. Okay, it's broken. Right? I would love to see more centrists do things. Okay, I really would. Create a voice for themselves. Because the reality is the vast majority of people are centrists. The percentages on the fringe on the right and the left aren't the large percentage. But the noise that you hear makes it seem that they are, but they're really not. AI startup boom is facing a reality check. Okay, fine, whatever. Follow the beginning, talk, whatever. Let's update this. I'm sorry, I'm not up to date on laws. It's a new dividend aristocrats payout will grow. Wow. Okay. Amounting the best and worst airlines. Comfort of space, see the choice between two $70,000 SUVs. Apple's iPhone 15 looks like a steal. How the stock could climb 25%. You know what? Nobody, it's not sexy, but Apple makes me money. That's all I have to say. It's not sexy, but it makes me money. Right? For a comeback, whatever. All right, let's go to Flow. Flow, what you got? Okay, so I want to show you something. Come on. There was that QQQ. This is what I want to show you. PDD. Right, where's the QQ? Snow. Well, that's all. That was a lot. That's what got that going, right? Boeing got something with my QQQ. Ah, that was a Walden. Okay, so I think what happened was that position on the Qs was rolled out to next week. That's what I think happened with it because it was, a large Q, and I think it was a Walden because it's not showing here as new positions. Okay. Fascinating. Let's go to the analysts right there today, right? Initiations. GDP 2.1% versus 12. That's fine. That's Goldilocks. That's fine. That's a little bit, you know. Wholesale price inventories lower. That's not bad. Inventories a little bit higher, fine. 2.5 a little bit softer, 3.7 a little bit softer. Real consumer spending a little bit higher, which is good. All this is pretty Goldilocks right now. 2.2 sales quarter over quarter. PCE estimate 2.5. Okay. This is fine, a little bit softer, but look, it's not negative. Okay. So, and then we wait for tomorrow and then non-farm payrolls. This is supportive of the market. I don't know what you think, twins, but this is nothing heinous happened, right? No shocks. So this is pretty supportive of the market. Now, I mean, I don't think we're going to get far, to be honest with you. But it's a thin market. Whatever happens, happens. All right, Stefan, Evercore, G4, Gulfport Energy. I like that. FLNC. I'm going to watch this one as well. I have bought this in the past. Okay, this is Berkeley, 71% overweight. I kind of like that, FLNC. I might grab a little bit of that. Especially some of these analysts that specialists who are really steady Freddies. I kind of like that. Downgrade 7. Ricky? Morgan Stanley, CNC, Centene. Yeah, but okay, whatever. You just, whatever. Still 13% higher. Texas Instruments down. Ambarella down as well. Cowan. Peloton, well, anyways, but higher prices. Outperformed in neutral. Sorry, you're only 41%. I can do a better job than that. Okay. I'm just saying. We can do a better job than that, I should say. All right, PDD, 23%. Whatever. Okay. Run, Sunrun, City, 45%. No can do. UDR, HTGC. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Pretty light, but let's see. Okay, what we got going on here for today. Don't care. Here we go. Ambarella. Okay. Needham maintains. Buy. Okay. 18.76% CNC. Okay. Well, downgrade, but higher prices. Sentinel 1. Keep an eye on this one. So basically, NSCC, HCP, Ambarella. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Sorry. Loss to October, interesting. Albemarle, I did buy a little bit. I haven't done anything on the option signs. Raymond James, Twinsy, stud time, your company, Sugar, Conoco, Tesla, a lot of negative stuff, right? eBay. This Tesla, I don't know if I'm going to follow it, but I might do a little bit on it. Okay. All right, let's talk. Smart money, dumb money. Dumb money is Yeezys and Yeezys. Don't take it personally. Except for Twins. Twins is smart money because he's an asset manager. Right? Okay. Institutions, stuff like that. About to flip positions. All right, so here we go. All right, so when this happens, when smart money is bullish and dumb money is not, okay, above zero, annualized return 14.6%, percentage of the time 37%, and then below 4.1, 63%. Okay. This goes back to 2001, but you can see here. Statistically, it's bullish, but not overwhelmingly so. So we have, in theory, now a little battleground going on between retail and smart money, dumb money. It has been months since the smart dumb money spread was positive. Let's go back to 1999. %78 1 year out. 3 months, 6 months, 92%. So when you look at that greater than 0 after a greater than 50-day below and minimum -5, that's a lot more bullish. You can see that, right? 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Right? Look, a lot of things are being predicated on a recession for next year. Okay, they're still pricing in a recession. Okay, a lot of, the only way we get to a rollover in the market, right, is if we get some sort of macro event, right? So we'll see. Find a positive spin on China. That tends to be a bounce, right? Boop, boop, boop. Not so much. A little bounce here, a little bounce here. Right? So statistically, when this happens, you do get a rally. Okay. 2 months out. Am I hedged? You bet your bippy I'm hedged. And I even trimmed back some of my longs. Because, it's the same thing with this market. Show me what you got. I'm interested, I'll listen. Correct. Soft landing. It's expectations, right? Forward looking, past is the past. Who gives a damn right now, right? It's forward looking. People get really hung up on the past data. It's old. Move on. Earnings next quarter, next earnings cycle will be important. I think a lot of companies, though, managed expectation. I do think that. Okay. And look, when you have NVIDIA doing what NVIDIA did, 2 quarters in a row. Twins, have we ever seen anything like that with NVIDIA? 2 quarters in a row. The absolutely stunningly, amazingly gobsmacked numbers. Have we ever seen that before? I don't think we have. In a company, two quarters in a row, maybe when we were first starting out on some of these. Okay. Costco and its hate. CSCO? Okay. I mean, I can't recall in recent history anything like this. Right. Look, okay, I'm going to say this again. We are not going to talk politics in this room. Anything you want to post, and this goes for everyone, we have to really dial it back in terms of how we phrase things, what we say. Okay? That's all I'm going to say right now. Okay? Thank you. I'm not going to do it. We're not going to do it. But I appreciate you saying that, Leo. I appreciate that. Okay? It's just, like I say, it gets my dander going. It gets a lot of people's dander going. We're here to day trade. We're here to take information, data, and day trade in this room. That's what we do. We have ideas. We have a brilliant mindset. We have a community here that's brilliant, okay? We do not want to alienate anyone. And that goes on both sides of the fence, right? Both sides of the fence. Please, be respectful. We are based on respect in this room. Okay, so you know the drill. 0. That's what happens, okay? This is just 1 day bounce. This is what it looks like. Go out 3 days, nothing. All it did was reset. Reset, 10 days, reset. That's all we did. Okay, we still have some things that are down. So for 1 day, yes. That would tell me more than likely we're going to have a consolidative day today, right? Let's see what's going on. Fascinating left yesterday, friends. Nothing really moved in terms of fund flows, okay? Now, I was thinking about this, okay? Let me talk a little bit out loud here before Spartan gets on. Because the ETFs, the Qs did, but nobody else did. in terms of rebalancing. Okay, you now have a really great setup on the hedging side, which is almost like leveraged, and like XLK, XLC, XLY. But XLK in particular, if you want to hedge, okay, there's a really great setup for that. Okay, so some of these leverage, like I do TECS stuff like that. I might just do like XLK when I look to hedge for the. So here we are. This is today, right? This is tomorrow.
Alrighty, okay. Beth, ready to pop on here.
Okie dokie.
But if you want to finish this thought, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So with the seasonality, this is today. It's statistically bearish, but I think we'll consolidate. Obviously, Spartan will guide us on that, but I think we need to digest. But then you see tomorrow is bullish, and then just for one more, just so you know, for September. Okay. So twins, you were asking me. Okay. The only problem is that it could have been these in terms of non-farm payroll. That's all I wanted to say. Okay. All right, my friend, go ahead. Your turn.
All righty. Thank you, Beth. All right, guys. Morning. What's going on? What's up? Let me just pop up the screen share here. So, there we go. So if you guys are new to chat and haven't already done so, make sure to click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. You're going to pop into chat. It's going to look something a little bit like this. First area to go to when you guys do come in, disclaimer section, click on that. Give it a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section and scroll to the top of there. Top of the section, you see a link to the disclaimer, as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both, guys, in regards to risk reward, most important ratio in trading. So definitely worth checking out there. Continue to scroll down. Summary of how this chat works, breaks all the channels work, left-hand side. Below this, how to read alerts, options, equity side, pretty straightforward there. Spartan's options rules that I like to use for the options ideas Monday to Thursday. Click on those, read those. SPX rules as well. Below that, we have any of the small account, less than 10K breaking down. If you have a smaller account, less than 10K, some rules. Information, discipline you could put in place, you have a better chance of growing that smaller account, in our opinion, my opinion. Continue to scroll down, how to pick ideas from an options or equity perspective below that. And lastly, high conviction small account trades posted in that section when they do make sense. Pre-market tickers on watch. What do we got going on today, guys? Tesla, NVIDIA, MSTR, MDB, AMBA, and DBGY. So Tesla gapping down gapping down slightly after last day's move. Same with NVIDIA, MSTR, MDB gapping up on earnings, AMBA gapping down on earnings, and then DBGI is gapping up in continuation. Let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint intraday. First two, Tesla and NVIDIA. Let's have a gander. So Tesla, guys, pivot to the upside today. Is going to be this level right here, 256.70, levels able to hold, 266.35 to 273.76, unable to hold, 247.72, 240.53 on the downside. Overall, going to be leaning on the bullish neutral side today, looking for a continuation push higher if that pivot point is able to hold. So that is Tesla. Let's take a look at NVIDIA here. So NVIDIA, I don't know why I said slight gap down. It's definitely not, but whatever. Slight, I guess, gap up on continuation is what I should have said. All righty, let's take a look at this right now. I'll do a fib as needed on it as well. Okay, pivot 484.28 levels able to hold. You got room towards 494.03 to 4 or 503. 22 unable to hold, 475.10. 464.19. It kind of looks a little bit weird because of the misprint candle there, but leaning bullish on it still, guys. I'm thinking that we can get a continued push back towards that all-time high. More of a grinder move today, I would think, after last days, but of course, we'll wait and see what happens on this bad boy. We rode that thing yesterday for what, 25, 26 points. Still got a piece on overnight, so looks good in my opinion, and yeah, we'll see what happens with it. I want more. Let's take a look at the next two guys, MSTR and MDB. So MSTR was obviously pushing on that grayscale news yesterday, and it's into this next recent range high area, which we're going to label all these little levels here. Okay, let's take a look at this thing intraday. Does look good on the daily. It is flagging. 370.89 pivot level holds, 387.77, 395.18 unable to hold, 380 or yeah, 358.62, 342.65 leaning bullish neutral. Watching for a retest of that pivot point this morning, and then we'll see if it holds so we can get a push back to the upside. Let's take a look at the MDB. the news accidentally copy it wrong here on MDB. Just want to be very clear on that. I'll get back to it then. But I know that that's not right on the news, I don't think. It was a stiffle upgrade into earnings, but we'll talk. I'll get it after on my little when I do write the stuff out. But anywho, let's take a look at this daily chart. Regardless, I do like the chart breaking above that 50 MA with room for continuation. All right, so pivot to the upside today, going to be this this level right here, which is right where the 50 MA is. 372.17 level holds, 385.59, 396.59 on the upside, unable to hold 363.57 to 354.71 downside, leaning bullish neutral, looking for a continuation push to the upside today if that pivot point is able to hold. So that is MDB, that is MSTR. Let's take a look at the next two. All righty, screenshot these. Umbrella and DBGY. Umbrella, guys, gapping down a little bit, $15. Let's see where we got room to. I think that should suffice with that 58 level down there. Get that level support there at 60.24. Perfect. So I'll get rid of that another one. 57 level. Perfect. All right, 62.17 pivot to the downside today. Level hold 64.08, 67.26. Unable to hold 60.19 to 58.13 downside, leaning bearish. Neutral on the downside. Looking for a continuation to the downside. If it does retest the pivot, I would be looking for a rejection there. All right, let's take a look at DBGI. We talked about this one before the close yesterday, so you got a decent amount of continuation. Pretty small float on this bad boy. Former runner, as we can see here on the chart. We'll probably get rid of that 18 level. I don't really want it. All righty. So I'd say pivot to the upside today will be around this 1455 level. Able to hold. We got room to 1729, 1872, 2096. Unable to hold 1259, 1122. Downside leaning bullish neutral on this name. For now, only if it can get above the pivot this morning. If it can't, then it would probably be a good short. If you do have borrows on it, guys. Watching for a rejection on the pop this morning and then a pullback. You might get a little bit of a curl in the afternoon and then, another fail. But if it does run this morning, then obviously don't short it. Just, trade it long on that little downtrend break, see how much it can go. And then once that momentum dies, if you were a short trader, then you can consider going back after it. All right, the SPY, guys, what do we got? So market looks great. Range break on the upside to the daily. We broke the head and shoulders, and we obviously flagged out yesterday. Right now, 450.87 pivot level holds, 453.56, 457.77, unable to hold 447.38, 444.93 downside. Leaning bullish, neutral, looking for a continuation push today. I think we can get another little day of pushing on it, but more of a neutral push. I think grind to the upside. It will open up a little extended, certainly today after last day's move. So that is notable. Pivot's going to be an important level on the SPY today if we were to hold up. And yeah, we'll go from there. The reason why I think we can grind higher is I think there's short stuck after that basically bear flag fail that probably aren't out just yet, which means there's more fuel to the fire on the long side if it does grind higher. You can see some nice, pushing, uncovering, etc. Apple, same sort of deal. Obviously reclaimed all EMA support. Looks good for continuation here. Daily chart is set up. Pivot 184.46, 185.96, 187.81. Unable to hold 183.36. Sorry, 39 to 182, 19 downside leaning bullish neutral. Looking for a continuation push to the upside today. All right, so that's Apple. Let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon, guys. So what we got here? Nice little head and shoulders breakout setting up. Able to break the 135.44. We got room towards 137.79. Unable to hold 133.19, 131.83 downside leaning bullish neutral. Netflix. $433.62 pivot level holds 437.09 to 441.50. Unable to hold 429.12 to 424.86 downside leaning bullish neutral. Looking for a continuation push to the upside today if the pivot's able to hold. Let's take a look at Meta. That's a good looking chart on Netflix. It's getting close to that range break to the upside. And if it does get through that level, she's got room. Meta, very similar chart in regards to, pushing through a range break on the upside, except it's a little bit closer. 299.52 pivot level holds 305.28, unable to hold 291.90 or 291.69. So if we get to that pivot, we can get a nice little push to the upside, leaning bullish. We'll see what these calls do for us, guys. They're at the money, but not necessarily in it yet. But if we can get through that little range, I think we should be able to get a decent momentum type of move on it. That's Meta. Let's take a look at Google. I get that. Like this. 135.16 pivot level holds 136.62, unable to hold 133.74, 132.26, leaning bullish neutral. So that's a FANG. Let's take a look at the VIX Qs IWM. That 1403 is the next support. So 1433 today, pivot to the downside, unable to hold 1403. And then below there on the VXX, looks like 1353 level would be next. Obviously, VXX rolling over. I think at some point, if the momentum's slow today, obviously VIX will fade off. But if there's at some point, if the momentum speeds up, even on the upside, I think there's gonna be a divergence on the VXX. I talked about it a little bit yesterday, then obviously we saw it unwind. So you start to see it sometimes, just when the VIX gets this low, when the market's working to the upside, they start to buy it typically. So we'll see what happens though. But just a heads up, just in case you're trying to use it for price action on the SPY like you typically would as they trade inverse, you may not get that action as cleanly as you would. QQQs broke the head and shoulders to the upside. This looks pretty damn good, actually. Beth was mentioning yesterday how the Qs could outperform. That is definitely notable and makes a lot of sense. 375.22 level holds, 377.45, 380.65 unable to hold, 320 or 372.77 to 369.57 downside leaning bullish, neutral there. And then last but not least, guys, let's take a look at the SPX. I like to do this one on the daily chart just because it's way easier to see. Yeah, that's that. All right. 44.91 pivot level holds, 45.24, 45.43, unable to hold, 44.64, 44.37 downside leaning bullish on this name here. So that's a SPY, that's a FANG. Those are the individual names that we are looking at today, guys. Gonna go ahead, pass it back over to Beth while I type up this pre-market action plan, and then we'll go from there. Beth, if you're ready, she's all yours for now, my friend.
All right, thank you, sir. You know how yesterday I was able to tell you in the get-go that market makers were not pricing in a move, any sort of move volatility and stuff like that. I'm now starting to see. Can I have the screen, please?
Yeah, 1 second, Beth.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so I am starting to see today a little bit, interestingly enough, Tesla, no. NVIDIA, well, yeah, okay. So some of these, like NVIDIA, when you have these linear type moves, I'm seeing some really premiums coming in. Apple, problem with Apple is still the strikes, but for the most part, it's still pretty benign. But some of these look like potential, especially if it's a grind mode, like, you know, grind high or whatever. Just be careful because it could be a premium burn on some of these. Okay, obviously the Lotto, SPY, Qs, SPX stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking right now. But if Spartan thinks that we're going to see continuation grind higher, then you're better off paying a little bit closer on the delta, higher delta, I guess is what the Reader's Digest, what I'm trying to tell you. Hi, bonds, let's take a peek. Here we go. That's not right. Okay, let me update. I'm not sure. There we go. No, that is right. Huh, interesting. Well, there you go. Flat-ish for the most part, right? Yields are down, up across the board in Europe and down across the board in Asia Pacific. Let's take a look at our yield curve now. 2.5, nothing there. Now, if something happens with this front end, okay, that would be notable, just so you know. Okay, on the inversion, that would get my attention. Here's the 510, still hasn't broken this quadrant, but trying to reclaim that 13 EMA. Now, a couple weeks ago, whether you believe me or not, and I said this with Church Wins, and he agreed with me in my construct, in my narrative, I believe that there was smoothing going on in terms of supply, but sopping up, okay, the sales that were going on the sovereign side. This is what they are mandated to do, and Janet Yellen owned it. And guess what? Okay, continue to believe, okay, that they were there to support the market, right? And now we're seeing the top end of the range moving. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I can't not stick to that story because my years of experience tell me that's the story. And look, I've been doing this since 1979. I've been involved with the markets, especially on the macro side and stuff. So, if you believe me, you don't believe it, right? So, see my 10-year reclaiming. Let's see if we can reclaim this 78.6%. These are all slowly starting to be positive stuff. right? Here's the 530 double. I mean, seriously, friends. Like I say, double bottom. Okay. There's a double top. Right? But this double bottom, I think, was so important, right? That we held. Right? Let's take a look at our 10-year. We're just getting to the top end of the range. Right? Good, bad, or indifferent. The data now is supportive of the range, right? Okay. I'm serious about this. You do not see a candle like this. You do not see a candle like this, okay, unless someone's there helping out. You just don't. It's just a very unusual candle, okay? That's just what it tells me. And it's not to stop things, it's just to smooth it out. But if it could get a rally off it, buy it some time, right? We'll see. Okay. This is just what it looks like. Whether we go anywhere, don't know, but it buys time. And then now we're getting macroeconomic data that's supportive of that. Chinese bonds, lower now, they're bopping a little bit. Like I say, it's really hard. It's a double whammy when you basically have currency sales and foreign direct investments not coming in. I mean, it's really difficult right now. This is why BRICS is so important for China. Okay, the success of it. Germany, I don't think we're going anywhere anytime soon. Yes, I do. Let me rephrase this, Leo. I only write puts. Okay, I don't write calls. Okay, those are my rules. I only write puts when they're nice and juicy. And I know that's something technically, unless there's obviously something that happens, but if I can buy something 10, 15% cheaper, I'll do it every day. Okay, so I do like puts. Okay. Ooh, Visa MasterCard, interesting. Okay, thank you, Terry. Dollar's going down, in my opinion. All of the geopolitical macro, global macro things tell me the same thing, right? I can tell you for a fact, right? In 2024, right, when BRICS looks at its currency, what they're going to use, it ain't going to be the US dollar. Now, you have to understand that with BRICS, the trading power now, block, okay, is larger than the US, okay, in terms of global GDP. It's real. Deal with it. You don't want to, fine, but deal with it. And this is why these sort of macro global events that occur do have trickle-down impact in terms of our economy, okay? It does. And by de facto, if you're getting such a large trading block as a percentage of GDP, global GDP, no longer wanting to use US dollars, by definition, the US dollar has to go down. Now, that's positive for exports here in the United States, companies that export, right? But a lot of them now, it's not like when I was starting out. They all have, you know, businesses, local currency and stuff like that. So it's less impactful, but we'll see. China, I'm surprised it hasn't broken out, but they're saying, no, I can't do it. Ethereum, there was an interesting article I was reading that Ethereum is going to start outperforming Bitcoin again. I don't know if it's true, but I could see, to be honest with you, in terms of BRICS as an asset class, them using both cryptos and gold to back whatever they decide to do. That's what I'm thinking. Shit, they could use oil if they wanted to. Just saying. Commodities all up, palladium's down, heating oil, gasoline down, aluminum up, yada, 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 whack-a-mole all over the place. Right? Like I say, you know, I don't think the commodity super cycle's done. I think this is multiple years, and I think when you have this division, geopolitical division, serious geopolitical division, okay? The isolationist type policy that was started by the previous administration continued on with this administration. I'm not an isolationist, I'm a globalist. That's my disclaimer, okay? I've always been a globalist, right? And I just see things over time, we're talking hundreds of years worth of history. Isolationist policy don't really, it's not a good look or feel, okay? And the reason being is price points, expenses, okay? There's some countries that have and some countries that don't have, like on certain commodities, and well, you know the drill. And here's the agricultural side. This was a beautiful buy. DBC, I did not buy it. I'm kicking myself, but I got plenty of this stuff. You don't have to worry about that. Natty gas, here we are, trying to reclaim extension. Like I say, a lot of these things that you have to be patient with, because you have to wait for the weekly close. It reclaimed the 10 EMA, pierced it, reclaimed it, still fine. Right? USO, UNG. I think we're going to be range bound, I guess. Nobody say good morning to Ahmed. Right? Yeah, found supply. I don't know why mine is not updating here. Let's see why mine's not updating. Yeah, mine's not updating. I don't know why. But anyways. Is Boyle with a mid, nothing to do right now, right? A little bit below the 10 MA. Let's see if that bounces. Here's crude. Pierce fell back. Okay, so it is consolidating in the upper quadrant, so that's obviously bullish. I'll be honest with you, Leo. Okay, let's talk about what Leo's talking about. Okay. All right, we have a record short. Okay, record short. We know this, right? But they've been short for a while here. So let's just say 10-year, right? Don't look at what it looks like now, but okay, this is what it looks like here. Okay, so leverage is green. Okay, so they've been shorting this little bad boy since September 2022. Okay, right. So that's up here. Okay, I would probably say, what is this low? 16. I don't know what makes them cover, but I'm sure that the weak shorts are probably covering already. No. Okay. But, you know, I'll be honest with you. We've talked about this. That was I told you intervention. Okay. I told you that we possibly could have a meeting as long as, okay, and twins would agree, as long as the Japan stops selling, right? I'm sure that Janet was on the phone saying, hey, you know, this is kind of, you're destabilizing things a little bit here. Okay. I don't know. I don't care. To be honest with you, I'm making money. I covered a lot of my hedges at that low. So I'm making money. I don't care. Do we break out? Okay, let's take it one step at a time. All right, so this low here, reclamation of 115.15 and a half. We are reclaiming that. Next level is here. Irregardless, this is the range. Okay, we're still in the bottom quadrant of this range. Just getting to the mid on this range is up to here. That's 118.17. Bring it on, baby. So what did I do? I bought a lot of the like high divvy names, okay, like REITs and stuff like that. I Bought ZROZ. Twins said I was crazy, but hey, I like to take a walk on the wild side anyways. But no, he didn't say that. He said I like to get my hair on fire, I think is what he said. I agree with you if the shorts start to cover, but those guys have been short, okay, since 122. I don't know what will cover is anyone who was late to the party. We see that all the time. Okay, I'm not saying, but I don't like to go there. I just say, okay, well, we're getting the bounce. Okay, this is just a massive range. How we get there, whatever, don't care. All right, I have my pivot points. Next level right here, 117.06. Right? So we're just taking one step at a time. So far, so good. Market is flat, right? But we'll see how things play out. If anything, I can tell you this, you know, like I say, I definitely increased my interest rate stuff that would, what becomes interesting. You go look at the oil names again with the high divvies, right? So you start looking at high divvy names, okay, as these bonds continue to rally. That's what basically you're looking for right now, right? Oil go up because of the drawdown, all kinds of stuff. But we'll see. All right, so keep an eye on this. So basically, Schlumberger Halliburton obviously led. I'm in TPL as well. I'm out of my Schlumberger Halliburton simply because we're here. Okay, until we actually break and hold above that and show me that we're going to make that next leg up. But I got plenty of other stuff. Here's the MLPs. Same thing, upper quadrant. I buy, okay, strategy, commodities. I buy A++, this I do with stocks too. ETFs, it doesn't matter to me. I buy A++ bottoms. I don't pick tops. I just sell into the tops, still hold. With Schlumberger and Halliburton, I have so many other things I don't have to really worry about that, okay? Will I buy some? Probably. I'll buy some Schlumberger if it pops to the top. But anyways, okay, I sell into the tops. This is FIFO. And this is why we're so successful, my guidance for you guys on the commodity side, right? You buy when nobody wants to buy, and you sell when nobody wants to sell, period, exclamation point. It's FIFO, first one in, first one. You're dealing from strength, not weakness. You're chasing, no FOMO here. You be patient. I could wait months and months for a setup. You know that, right? And then we go from there. All right, here's gold. Nice little bounce off that 10 EMA. Love it. Okay. Gold crude. So there's basically right now, there's obvious that gold is into this key pivot. I actually think both can rally, and that's why I'm not looking so much on this, but clearly with us down here, I think, to be honest with you, gold holds and starts to outperform crude. But with these drawdowns and stuff like that, you just never know. Stocks, let's take a peek. Okay, flattish, right? This is obviously bond stuff going on right now, right? Small caps. Like I say, I don't know what to tell you. Trends, like I said, we haven't seen anything like this in decades with the small cap. I'm not sure. I can't even think of what the catalyst can be for small caps right now. To be honest with you. So, correct. But you know what I mean, twins? I don't understand. Obviously, it's all about the Mag 7, large cap. You know, I understand this construct. But this disconnect is really quite something. I understand that. Just tough for that, exactly. So, you know, let's not forget the vast majority not participating in this rally. And so basically we're talking about a broadening of that rally. But irregardless, even within the sectors, there's just a targeted few that are doing it, right? All right, overseas, where everything's up, right? Hang Seng up, China 8 shares. These 850s are down. Okay, the futures, Nifty 50 up slightly, Bank Nifty down. Yeah. And then you can see here what's going on. Okay. DAX bouncing nicely off this 10 EMA. Same thing, right? just basically came back, double bottom on the FTSE, all of these. The sky didn't fall. All it was a correction within the bull market. FTSE is different for obvious reasons. You can't say that, but Fez, same thing. Look at these candles, friends.
Already
Look
Beth
at
did
these candles.
pop back on here.
Ready? Okay.
Yep. Thank you so much. Guys, morning. What's up? What's going on? Let me pop the screen share back up here. Let's rip through it. If you guys are new to chat, have you done so? Make sure to click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. Pop in a chat. Looks like this. First area to go to disclaimer section. Click on that. Give it a read. As well as go to the new to chat information section. Scroll to the very, very top of the section. Got a link to the disclaimer, as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both. In regards to risk reward, guys, most important ratio in trading. So definitely worth checking out in that regard. Continue to scroll down. We have the summary of how this chat works, breaks all the channels work on the left-hand side, so you can probably navigate the chat throughout the day. That is important, so we know where to be looking. Continue to scroll down. We have the how to read alerts on the options and equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Below this, options rules that we like to use Monday to Thursday in regards to controlling risk. Below that, SPX rules that we like to use as well for the SPX ideas. So options ideas, SPX ideas right there. Continue to scroll down. Any with small account, less than 10K. Some rules, information, discipline you can put in place. You have a better chance of growing that smaller account, in our opinion. How to pick ideas from an options or equity perspective. So this just breaks down how to overlay your own criteria on top of any idea presented so that you're left with only things that make sense for you and your account. This is something that you should be doing regardless of whether you're in a room or using a scanner, etc. And then high conviction small account trades posted in that section when they do make sense. Pre-market tickers on watch. What do we got going on today, guys? If you guys are on the YouTube stream, you can simply just pause it and read these. So pause it, read that. All the charts are posted, all that stuff you can see as well. And then let's take a look what we got going on today. So we got Tesla, NVIDIA, MSTR, MDB, AMBA, DBGI. So Tesla gapping down slightly after last day's move. NVIDIA, MSTR, MDB gapping up on, I think it was on an upgrade, but I got to take a look again. AMBA gapping down on earnings, DBGI gapping up a continuation. Let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint intraday. First two we're going to be looking at, guys, today is going to be the NVIDIA and Tesla. So let's have a look at those. Oh, kind of flipped it over there. The Tesla and NVIDIA. No, in that direction. Tesla 256.70 pivot to the upside today. Level holds 266.35. That level breaks. We got room for continuation 273.76. Unable to hold 247.72 to 240.53 on the downside, leaning bullish neutral. Looking for a continuation push to the upside today if the pivot's able to hold. MDB pivot 372.17 level holds 385.59, 396.59. Unable to hold 363.57 to 354.71, leaning bullish neutral there. MSTR pivot to the upside today, 370.89. That level is able to hold. We have room for continuation into the 387.77 to 395.18. Unable to hold 358.62, 342.65 downside, leaning bullish neutral. I accidentally flipped NVIDIA and MDB, but NVIDIA 44.28 pivot level holds 494.03 to 503.22. Unable to hold 475.10, 464.19, leaning bullish neutral on that one as well. Ambarella DBGI. AMBA, we have the 62.17 pivot downside levels, unable to hold 60.19, 58.13, able to hold 64.08 to 67.26, leaning bearish neutral there. DBGI pivot on the upside today, guys, is going to be 14.55, level hold 17.29, 18.72, unable to hold 12.59, 11.22 downside, leaning bullish neutral if the pivot's able to be reclaimed. Now market, let's take a look at this, my friends. Let me just type it up as well into the SPX channel as I do. SPY 450.87 pivot to the upside today. This level holds from higher into the 453.56 resistance breaks. We see the 455.77 tested. Pivot unable to hold. From lower into the 447.38 support breaks, we see the 444.93. That's the leaning bullish neutral. All right, that's a SPY, guys. Let's take a look at the rest of the FANG here. Apple pivot to the upside today. Going to be 184.46 level holds, 185.56 to 187.81. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback into the 183.39 to 182.19 on the downside, leading a bullish neutral. Looking for a continuation push to the upside on that one today as well. Let's take a look at the Amazon. Pivot to the upside today is going to be 135.44, unable to hold 137, able to hold 137.79, unable to hold 133.19, 131.83 downside, leading bullish neutral. Now flex pivot on the upside today. 433.62 level holds, 437.09, 441.50, unable to hold 429.12, 424.86 on the downside, leading bullish neutral there as well. Love the range break setting up on Netflix. Meta at the range breakout area as well. 299.52 level hold, 305.28, unable to hold 291.69 downside, leading bullish neutral there. Google pivot to the upside today. 135.16 level holds, 136.62, unable to hold 133.74 to 132. 26 downside, leading bullish neutral there. That one should be a bullish neutral type of grind higher, in my opinion. VIX, we have that 1438 level, unable to hold 1403, the 1353 able to hold 1496, not leaning in a particular direction, but we'll be watching the VIX today. QQQs 375.22, pivot level holds 377.45, 380.65, unable to hold 372.77 to the 369.57 downside, leading bullish neutral. And then last but not least, guys, SPX. Oh, that's right. Daily chart. I was like, where the heck's my level? 44.91 pivot level holds. 45.24, 44, 454.36. Unable to hold. 44.64, 44.37 downside. Leading bullish neutral. So that is the SPY. That is the FANG. That is the individual names that we're looking at today. We'll see what happens going forward. In regards to what we see here in the market, obviously we're still pretty much bullish. We're going to be slightly extended to the upside today. 444 would be gap fill area, but I think we can hold that extension for one day. We'll see. That pivot's going to be a big level for us to get through if we want to continue to squeeze off the this downtrend or range break off the lows. Anyways, that's it, my friends. If you guys came in on the YouTube stream, thanks for popping in. You guys want to come trade with us, you can certainly do so. Go to SpartanTrading.com, pop in there.